I want to welcome everybody back to Kicks and Convos with your host, Coach Dion. We have a very special guest, South Carolina football men's head coach, Shane Beamer. He's in the building, man. I'm super excited. We're going to talk about shoes. We're going to talk about his journey. And then we're also going to talk about how shoes shape who we are. So again, Coach, welcome, man.
Yeah, it's great to be on. Thanks for having me. I was glad to get that text from you about joining you on the show.
Nah, man, I was super excited. I told my wife, I said he responded and he was like, D, let's go, let's run it. He said, but it has to be in June. Yeah. So, definitely wanted to make sure I followed up with you, man. But let's jump into it, man. Coach, we always start with talking about shoes, man. So what was your first pair of shoes growing up?
It's a good question. I was into, back when I was growing up, tennis was the craze, like Converse Agassi and those guys. So the first pair of shoes I can really remember were, Agassi had the Velcro strap shoes that you could wear on the tennis courts. I got those one time when I was younger. Really, for me, my dad was the head football coach at Virginia Tech.
Oh, yeah.
And back then, early on, they had a contract with Converse. So all the shoes that I was ever wearing were Converse shoes. And then finally, I think it was 1991, 92, something like that, they got an agreement with Nike.
Okay.
So then all of a sudden we went from I was wearing Converse playing middle school basketball growing up to I was wearing Nikes and everything. And that was a game changer for me for sure. So first shoe I remember, Agassi tennis shoes. I love Michael Jordan growing up, so not that I had all kinds of J's that I was collecting over the years, but certainly big Michael Jordan fan too, so I always was cognizant of what he was wearing.
Hey, you was buying them or was your dad getting them?
Dad was getting them.
Oh, okay, man.
I had a job in the summertime, cutting grass and working at the Parks and Rec. I did that in the summertimes growing up, but it helped to have that Nike contract if you could pull open that Nike catalog and order some shoes.
All right, so let me ask you now, so I know coaching and stuff, it takes up a lot of time. And I've been watching you over the years, great coaches, they attract great kids. Mm-hmm. And, watching you and your swag and stuff and how you carry yourself, man, does your shoe game, does it show when you out on the road?
I never really thought about it, and then I laugh about this, Coach. It was about 2 years ago, and somebody had given me a pair of brown loafers type dress shoes that were kind of brown loafers, but had some garnet and black in there. Mm. I thought they were pretty sweet, personally.
Yeah.
And I wore them around the players one time on our team, and Nicholas Harbor, our wide receiver, came up to me, and he's like, Coach, those shoes. I'm like, you like them? And he's like, no. So we still laugh about that. Any kind of shoe that I wear, I make sure I go to Nick. I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, oh yeah. So he's my judge, but certainly been more cognizant of that, particularly with us going to Nike. They've sent us some stuff that I've worn some things, and I see the reaction that I get, whether with it be the people on our coaching staff, our players, recruits, whatever it might be. So to say that I got, 100 pairs of shoes and I'm thinking about it when I go recruiting, what shoes I'm wearing, not necessarily, but I do see the power of what you're wearing and how that's a conversation piece with high school recruits, our current players, whoever it might be. That certainly, you use the word swag. I appreciate that. Certainly increases the swag for sure.
Oh yeah. Cause the culture has changed so much, man. And you being who you are, especially in the SEC, man, I do know recruits look at that stuff because, I want to play for that guy, and that's why we're looking forward to seeing y'all transition, into wearing the check. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because on the sideline, I know you're going to have some crazy, what's running through your head, man? Your favorite shoes that you might try to bring back, because those Agassis might be one of those shoes.
Yeah, it could be the Agassis. I'm, the Nike. Last fall, they actually, before one of our games, they came by, the awesome Nike reps, they came by my office the day before one of our home games, and they dropped off a pair of custom Nike Gamecock Air Maxes that our players love because they saw me wearing them. I walked into in December, like a team meeting with the returning team, and we talked about how things were going to be different in 2026. Here's 2025 didn't go the way we wanted. Here's some things that are going to be different in 26, whether it be coaching staff, this building, schedules, whatever. And I said, one thing that's going to be different, and I took off the Under Armour shoes and I pulled those Nike Air Maxes out of the box and put them on, and the whole room's like, dang, you know? So I'm an Air Max guy. We'll see what Nike cooks up. Certainly, you know, they work with our equipment room to make sure the coaches are wearing the same stuff, but certainly traveling the games, the Gamecock walk that we have. I've already had some people come up to me that work for us and say, hey, you know, I've already got some ideas for some shoes that you can wear to games and things like that I think you're going to love. So we'll see what they put together.
Shoot, I can't wait. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
So this is another question I wanted to ask you, man. Like, what is going to be your sideline sneaker philosophy? Will it be comfort? Or will it be heat, or will it be both?
Probably more comfort for me. Now, I'm sure a lot of people would say heat then comfort, but I'm more comfort. That's 3.5 hours of walking up and down that sideline during games, and so making sure I'm comfortable and whatnot. But we'll see. You know, certainly that you can always find a good combination of heat and comfort. But for me, certainly comfort.
But I think it's going to be easy. You know, when I talked with Dawn a little bit about her transitioning, like, I got so much respect for y'all because nobody hits the recruiting trail more than you guys. You know what I'm saying? And along with that it's like, no matter what you put on, it's going to be something swag. And you got great people around you to keep you locked into what's going on. And I really do feel like, you know, we might see a lot of Travis Scotts pop up over here as well with you wearing, you know, but again, man, it's like, you know, like the element of just having custom shoes that South Carolina get to design, like the ones that you have on now. I mean, like what you feel about, how you feel about those?
No, it's awesome. We saw these and saw some other ones that we have and that are custom. They're pretty awesome. And that's what's exciting about Nike is, like, they wanted us. I mean, we obviously wanted Nike, and it'll be a great partnership, but we were very attractive to them because of Dawn and her relationship with Nike and what they're doing in women's basketball and what we're doing in football. Like, they aggressively sought us, and we aggressively sought them, and excited about what we both can do for each other as we continue to build this thing. So I'm fired up.
Oh, yeah. What were some of the sports like growing up that you played?
I was into basketball and baseball primarily growing up. Okay. Played football in 4th grade, and then I didn't play football again until 8th grade. I was more into, I really loved basketball, played that every year growing up. You know, I was going into 7th grade, I think. I went to Michael Jordan's basketball camp.
Santa Barbara?
Elmhurst College, Elmhurst, Illinois.
Okay.
Went to that camp in the summer of, what have they been, 1990, I guess, 1989. That was awesome. Loved basketball. Played baseball all through high school. It just happened as I got older. Football was my best sport, so I really focused on that. I played baseball all through high school, but like I said, always enjoyed basketball. Always enjoyed baseball. That's what I primarily played growing up. And then once I got to high school, I was a football and baseball guy.
What was your favorite hoop shoe?
Well, when I was playing basketball, like organized, that was before I got to high school. So that was the Converse days. So whatever Converse was making back in 1989, 90 is what I was wearing. And then when I got to high school, I wasn't playing anymore once I got to high school. So really it would have been the Converse. If you look at me back in 8th grade playing for Blacksburg Middle School, I was rocking the white Converse high tops. That was my shoe in 1990.
Shoot, Converse had some really good shoes
too. They did.
Man. I mean, you know, I was a big Larry Bird and Magic Johnson fan. Yep. So every time they had those commercials and they came out with those shoes, I definitely had to have a pair.
No doubt.
You know, but Coach too, like, you know, just growing up and stuff, man, and your dad being who he was, like, did you run to him to get Jordans? Like, did you tell him it was a certain pair that you want? Like, what was your favorite? What was your go-to?
Not really. My parents really instilled in my sister and I, like, you earn stuff and you got to work for it. It wasn't just, I want this and okay, let's go get it. I mean, I was had chores around the house. I cut my neighbors' yards to earn money during the summertime. Had a summer job as I got older, for sure, just trying to, make my own money and earn it. But it was more, I really want these, and having a conversation with the parents, but it certainly wasn't, I want this, and then we just ran out and got it. It was, okay, you want this, and we need to, earn it so you can go get it too.
Yeah, are your kids in the shoes too?
Not really. Well, my daughters are. I couldn't even tell you what they're wearing. I mean, it's whatever's popular on social media and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and,
same, man. Same.
What is it? Golden gooses and all this stuff, and then all this junk they're wearing. Son's not really into it quite yet. Now he's got some Nikes that he wears that I'm like, okay, for sure. But he's not quite into it right now. He's kind of like I was growing up, into all kinds of different sports and just wearing whatever until it falls apart. Then it's just go get another pair of shoes.
Well, I can't forget about the wife now. So the wife got swag too?
Oh, wife's definitely. She got more swag than I do, for sure. So
with the
what is she wearing? Not so much tennis shoes, but whatever she's wearing, she's ahead of the game. I know that.
Yeah. So you've coached like under some of the best coaches, man. Like what's some of the biggest thing that you learned like from those guys when you coached under them?
Yeah, I think with every person that I've worked with, it's they're all different personalities, and I feel like I've taken something from all of them. I can't try and be any one person that I've worked for, but I would like to think that I've taken a little bit from all of them. And I had them all at great times in my career, whether it be my very first job in coaching. I was a graduate assistant at Georgia Tech back in 2000, working for George O'Leary, who was the head coach. And, what I took from him early on in my career, all the way to the previous two previous jobs before here at Oklahoma and Georgia, working for Lincoln Riley and Kirby Smart. What I took from those guys, I took from them and everybody in between. But, those last two head coaches, Lincoln Riley and Kirby Smart at Georgia, that was really impactful for me and beneficial because both of those guys were first-time head coaches at a young age. So being able to be on their staff at the beginning of their tenures and see how they did things as a first-time head coach, how they, took what they did and how they did things at the place they came from before, but then made it their own at their own school. That was really beneficial for me. But, whether it be those two, George O'Leary, Philip Fulmer at Tennessee, Sylvester Croom at Mississippi State, Steve Spurrier here, my dad at Virginia Tech. I mean, I've worked for multiple Hall of Fame coaches, and they all had a big impact on me.
Yeah, I swear, man, we talked about this a little bit earlier off camera. Like the first time you were here, like I swear I never seen an assistant coach work as hard as you did, and like great relationships, because I coached AAU basketball, but how many assistant coaches really reach out to AAU coaches, about kids, man, because Alshon, he did play in our organization at the time. He played for us for 4 years, 4 state championships in basketball. But when you called me and you was like, D, can you help us? I was like, yes. And I just felt like deep down, I was like, he's going to be a head coach. He's going to be a great head coach one day. And I swear everything came full circle because you work for a lot of great head coaches. Yeah. And then now, I put you in that category too, man. Because I mean, like I said, I love your spirit, man. And I watch you on the sideline and how you move.
Well, I appreciate that. But no, I wanted, it's about relationships. You know that. I mean, you're in the game, and it's all about relationships and connecting with people. And I'm a people person. I enjoy the relationship aspect of it. And, I think when you're passionate about what you do, and I'm passionate about this place, I love recruiting, I love coaching. I think that passion shows through in a lot of ways.
Let's be honest. How many times you sat on your couch yelling at the TV, thinking, I would absolutely crush it if I had an opportunity to get on that game show? Well, now it's time to put your money where your mouth is. Introducing the Game Show Challenge. It's a live hosted experience where you are the contestant. We're talking a massive LED stage, a real host, and you going head to head with your crew. You'll be buzzing in, spinning giant wheels, and let's be real, talking a little trash. The best part, you don't have to be a genius or a pro athlete. These games are built for everyone to win, and you might even have a shot at a $100,000 prize. Their slogan says it all. Real buzzers, real laughs, unreal fun. whenever you're in Greenville, Charlotte, or Atlanta. Or in the Vista here in Columbia, grab your crew. Use code Kicks Convos at checkout for 10% off your booking at the Columbia location. Head to their website and book your spot in the spotlight right now. Oh yeah, no, I mean we see it, man. So I'm expecting big things, and I know you're gonna continue to do that. What's the hardest part of being a head coach? That a lot of people don't understand. Especially in the SEC.
Yeah, I think it's two things. It's the amount of things that come across your desk that have nothing to do with coaching. The amount of decisions that I have to make on a daily, weekly basis, get to make, I should say, but then the amount of people that you're responsible for. I mean, it's not just the 10 assistant coaches and the players. I mean, we got 200 plus people that work in this building. So there's a lot of people that are looking to me each day to give direction and be their leader. And so there's a lot of decisions that you have to make because of that. That would be one thing. And then I think just the hardest part, I mean, it's a part of it, but in making those decisions, there's a lot of decisions that you have to make that negatively impact people. And being somebody that's a relationship person that cares about people, I don't want to negatively impact people, so and whether it's head coach in the SEC or a leader in any position, you got to make decisions that negatively impact people you care about. And that's something that, you have to do here or in this job. And that's tough, but probably just that. And then just the amount of things that have nothing to do with coaching when you're a head coach. I mean, in so many ways, you're like a CEO in a lot of ways of a company. Just when you talk about the different departments you're responsible for, the fundraising aspect of it, the recruiting aspect of it, the media aspect of it, it's just a lot on top of the coaching aspect of it.
Yeah, and then again, I watch you, man. Like I see you make a lot of time, for everybody.
Yeah.
And which leads into the next question, man. How passionate are you about Gamecock Nation, the fans?
Passionate, because I see just how passionate they are and how hungry they are. And that's what drives me every day, Coach, is to bring a championship team to that fan base because they're so hungry for it and they deserve it. And then just how loyal they are. I mean, we talk about it with recruits all the time, that no matter what kind of season we're having. I mean, in my picture, I've got a picture of Gamecock Walk, where we come in before the game through the fans and through Gamecock Park. And the picture is awesome. I mean, the fans are like 20 deep, on each side for as far as you can see. And there's just hands reached out everywhere trying to high five coaches and players. There's kids on their father's shoulders. There's people on top of the fence, all just to get a look at the football team as they walk by. And I love it because it was from no disrespect to any team in the country, but it was from the Georgia State game. Yeah. And it wasn't like we were getting ready to play Clemson and the fan base is going crazy. I mean, it was Georgia State. And that's what I tell recruits. I'm like, it's like that every day, every Saturday.
Yeah.
And they don't care who we're playing. They just want to come see the Gamecocks play. And that's what I love. And it's just in any sport, the passion, wherever you go, low country, upstate, PD, Midlands, you name it, there's Gamecocks everywhere that just truly love Gamecock football and athletics, and it drives me to bring, a winner to them that they deserve consistently.
Yeah, no, it's gonna happen. We see it, man. We see it. I gotta be better too, because the last time I went to a USC football game, I think when you was here, me and my wife. No, it's because you always took care of me.
All right.
So you invited me and my wife to come, and it was when we beat Alabama. Yeah, that was our last game. So she said,
what have you been doing for the last 5 years now? We gotta change that.
Yeah, no, we gonna change it, because she told me I needed to be a whole lot better. And then my two girls, they love Gamecock football. So again, I'm gonna be a whole lot better, because it's like when you get home, you want to sit there and sit on the couch.
I hear you, man. I get it. But you're always welcome. You let me know when you want to come, and we'll make that happen.
Oh yeah. So I like the other thing too, and with the program I built over the years. My basketball program, even when I coached the South Carolina Ravens, I look at you, man, and with you being a head coach, like previous guys that you coach as an assistant, and then to the guys that you coach here now, like why do the kids, they're not kids. Why do your players love coming back here and spending time with you?
You'd have to ask them. I'd hope they just say because they know I'm real, that the way that I was as an assistant coach is the same way that I am right now as a head coach. I was just, before we started this, I was meeting with a recruit in my office, and that's what I was telling them. I'm like, I love my job because I truly love the players that I get to coach. When I was an assistant coach, if I'm coaching tight ends, I had 5 or 6 tight ends that I coached that I loved, had a great relationship with. When I was coaching running backs, defensive backs, whatever it might be, you had those relationships, but it was on a smaller scale. Now I got 110 players on the team, and I get to have those relationships with 110 guys, which I love that aspect of my job. But that's who I was as an assistant coach. I just truly enjoyed being around the players, and I think they knew that they could trust me, that I was going to be honest with them, tell them the truth, maybe not always what they want to hear, but I was always going to be truthful with them and just try and be the same guy each and every day and truly care about them. And, I take it as a compliment. I've got guys that I coached at Virginia Tech that have come down here for home games since I've been back as the head coach. I've got players that I coached at Oklahoma that have come here for home games since I've been the head coach. I've got players that I coached at Georgia that have come back here for games since I've been the head coach, or come here for games. And that's cool that guys I coached at other schools have want to come here and support me and be around my family. And I appreciate it when they do that and they come back and they're like, man, coach, you're the same way now that you were when you were coaching us 10 years ago. And that's what I want them to say. I'm older and beat down a little bit more. But as far as my passion and who I am, I never wanted to be a guy that all of a sudden just became a head coach and drank the head coach Kool-Aid and started acting a certain way. I am who I am, and would like to think it's the same guy that I've always been.
Yeah, you can see a lot of those guys, they always come back, man, and they on that sideline. And I do think that's a great recruiting tool too, like them coming back, because it speaks volumes of who you are.
No, it is. It's them coming back, that speaks volumes, but then just those guys and what they did to be able to have Alshon Jeffrey or Stephon Gilmore, or DJ Swearinger, whoever, Marcus Lattimore, Connor Shaw, on and on and on. All these great Gamecocks to come back and be around Devontae Holloman. It's awesome because those players get to see them come back, but they also got to it's a visible, this is what these guys did. They went to Atlanta and played for the SEC championship and won a lot of football games here. And that's what's possible at South Carolina. They've shown that and then some.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So when the biggest thing for you is when you out recruiting players, what are you looking for? Because that, me coaching for 1 year, at the Division I level, man, I do think it's always two sides because, parents think that every kid should get an offer.
Right.
But then too, they don't understand the recruiting process. What is your process when you're on the road and you recruiting kids, and when it comes to offers too?
Yeah, I think in college coaching, we're limited as a head coach how much I can go out on the road recruiting. It's more limited than ever. So if I'm going out to see somebody, it's somebody that we really want. But when I go out at that point, or whether early in the process when our assistant coaches go out, it's probably no different to Coach Staley or Coach Parrish or anybody. It's, for us, it's what kind of person they are, making sure. There's an old saying, it's true, you recruit your problems. I don't want to recruit a guy that's going to be a problem once they get here. Make sure they're a good teammate, good person, have all the character things that you're looking for first and foremost. I don't care how talented you are. Guys that, they love football. They love football. Competitors, those are things with me. Good person, love football, and love to compete. And then if you have those characteristics, you're going to be all right. And then we'll figure out, obviously there's got to be a skill set that you have depending on the position that you play. But, if you're a good person, you love to compete, you love the game of football, that's what I'm really looking for. When I go in there and sit down with a person, or are they a guy that we want to bring into our program? And then when we bring them on visits too, making sure that they fit. We've had guys that are high profile guys that have been here on visits to South Carolina, And I tell our players, like, when you're around a guy, if you're with them all weekend or around them on a visit, you don't think they're going to fit what we're about, you let me know.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, that happened in June. We had a guy on an official visit that Monday morning. He spent 3 days here. And on Monday morning, a couple of our players came up to me and they're like, like, he ain't about what we're about, coach. And we stopped recruiting him.
Oh, yeah.
And, I think you got to be willing to do that to make sure that you bring the right people into the program and not mess up the culture.
Oh, yeah, because I don't think a lot of, like, when you're on the outside looking in, I don't think a lot of people understand, like, when we sitting there and we evaluating a kid or we looking at a kid, like, we want to make sure we grooming that kid to be great fathers.
Sure.
Because, we're fathers, great fathers, and want to make sure, like, they have opportunities when they do leave the university and things like that. I just feel like, watching you and watching how you pour into your guys, why wouldn't I want to come back and spend some time with Coach Beamer? You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
That's why I asked you that question, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Nah, you know it, man. But, like something else I wanted to ask you too, and like, you done coached a lot of great players. But let's just stick with South Carolina. Give me your top 5.
Oh, man, that's like picking your favorite child.
I mean, but it don't have to be in no order, because all the kids that we done coach, I know we got all kind of different stories and stuff, but then we do have certain reasons why they fall into like the top 5. But we love all of them.
You love all of them. Man, that's hard. It really is.
But you know what? How about we don't say top 5? Let's just say you just give us 5 guys that, you really, really like watching over the years, like something like that maybe.
Yeah. That one's hard too, because then they'll be hitting me up and be like, dang, coach, like, you didn't name me and all that. I'll just give you one. Alshon Jeffrey.
That's fine.
Because, Alshon and I got such a great relationship, still do. We did them. That was a guy that, June before his senior year, he committed to Southern Cal. Yeah. And I remember having a conversation telling him, you ain't going to Los Angeles, California. I mean, you're from St. Matthews, South Carolina. Like, I'm going to keep recruiting you. And I did. I just stayed the same and continued to develop that relationship with him. And then to have him come to South Carolina to see what he did. I'll never forget after he had a game against Kentucky where I think he caught like 3 touchdown passes, and Steve Spurrier in the locker room gave me a game ball. Yeah. He gave Alshon a game ball, and then he's like, and then to the guy that recruited Alshon Jeffrey, Coach Beamer gets a game ball. So I've still got that in my office here in the facility. But just the impact of being able to get a guy like that, being here with him for a couple years when he first got here, seeing the impact he had, then watching him go to the NFL and seeing him win a Super Bowl with the Eagles. And then all these years later, for him to still call me and for us to have a conversation with one another, and for him to tell me that he loves me, and for me to tell me that I love him, and for him to call and tell me what kind of impact I had on him. And I mean, it's what you coach for. So I could say that about a lot of guys, but he's just a guy that has always been and always will be special to me. He would be on that Mount Rushmore. He'd be top 5 for me. It's hard to name some other ones. I don't want to make anybody mad, but I would say Alshon just because of the impact he had on me on and off the field. And still, when I talk to him, it's, hey, how's Emily, my wife? How are the kids? All that. He's just he's got a special place in my heart and always will. Oh yeah. Now that Southern Cal story is funny because I never forget you. Like our relationship grew, but then you called me on signing day and you was like, D, we sitting here in front of the fax machine, nothing came over yet. It's coming. I was like, oh man. That tells you how long it is. You wait on the fax machine and all that. No, but see, that's what I'm saying. It's like you truly can identify talent, but then great people too. Right. Because Alshon is, the stuff that he does in St. Matthews still with his camp and stuff like that. Like, watching the young men that you're grooming. Yeah. Like those guys are, giving back and stuff. But you done coached a lot of great ones. Yeah. A lot of great ones. And, like some of my favorites, because of course they all play for me. DJ Swearinger played for me. And then he was like, nah, I'm going to take my talents on the road and play football. And he left the basketball alone. But Alshon, Cliff Matthews, he was another one. Jarrell Adams played for me, but And still hear from all those guys.
Yeah, and I mean, but again, man, like just want to make sure we give you your roses, man, because like your first stint was really, really good, but then now having you as our head coach at the university, man, I think is super awesome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
That means a lot coming from you.
Nah, man, you the guy. So we're gonna play a game real quick.
All
right, and I know we got to get you up out of here. So I got 2 shoes I'm gonna show you. Okay, I'm gonna show you 2 shoes. And then you got to pick between the 2 shoes. So we got the Jordan 4s, all right? And then you got the retro 1s. So which one?
All right, so probably the retros just for day-to-day. Actually, when I was coaching at Oklahoma, we were a Jordan brand school. Okay. And that was actually the shoe that our coaches could wear on the sidelines during games. That was one of them, if you chose to. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I got enough swag to pull this off wearing that. But I would probably say that one just for more just day-to-day living.
Okay. All right. Hey, that's a good choice because I graduated out of the retro, so I like the retro ones. That's a great pick. All right. So again, you got a lot of swag, and I can't wait to see what you wear July 1, because you're going to have all kind of crazy stuff. So I was like, let me print out some real cool stuff. Okay. So you got the Jordan 6, the Travis Scott Jordan 6. Right. Okay. And you got the Jordan 11 Cool Grays. Now think about this. Now the players going to be like, yo, man, you seen Coach Beaver?
I'm trying to think like a 19, 20, 21-year-old for sure. I want to say the Travis Scotts, but I think I'm going to go to the Grays right there. That's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, that's more me, I feel like.
Yeah, because when you start hitting the road again and you're recruiting and you got Nike on, there's no telling what your equipment manager is going to have you in.
Yes.
Because it's going to be something fire.
Exactly.
I know that. All right. So 2 of my favorite shoes because I got both. All right. Now, we talk about the low tops. All right, here we go, man. You got 2 Travis Scotts.
Okay. Over here.
Oh, yeah. So with these, you got the pink laces come with them too. So I know for a fact, like, I was like, he'll lean towards these because then all the players and stuff, they're going to be sitting.
I could pull that off. Definitely got to up the shoe game. And I'm seeing 3 things already that I'm like, you know what? That's an immediate upgrade for what's in my closet right now back at my house here in Columbia.
No, and like I just want to end with this, man. Like, I'm real good at identifying, like, when people wear shoes and stuff, it tells a story about us and who we are. You don't have to give me 5, but you can give me like your top 3, and then I can give you a story of why it's your top 3. So what's your top 3 shoes? So let's go with the Andre Agassis.
All right.
Okay, so that was 1.
Yep.
So any Jordan shoe?
Yeah, but I couldn't even tell you which one.
No, you don't have to tell me which
Probably
one.
was it the 3s?
Oh, yeah. See,
that are similar to the 4s, but just didn't have as much on it. Am I right in saying? I think the 3s.
Right. Okay, so the 3s.
Yep, the 3s, probably those Agassi shoes. Man, outside of that.
Did you want to go with the Converse?
We'll go Converse because played an AAU basketball game and made 7 3-pointers when I was an 8th grader.
So you played shooting guard?
Wearing the Converse shoes.
So you played shooting guard or point guard?
Played probably kind of more point guard, I guess. Bring it up. I got hot one night, made 7 threes at an AAU tournament. Wearing the Converse. So I got to go Converse because that was my basketball days.
Okay. Let's start with the Andre Agassi. So Andre Agassi was one of the best tennis players in the world.
Yep.
And he had a lot of like swag about himself. Yeah. He was different. He separated himself from everybody else, which you do as being the head coach at the University of South Carolina. So I see why you love that shoe. Yeah. Because again, you're different. You don't try to be like no other coach in America. You try to be yourself. And you've done a great job of that. And that's where you are today and why players want to come play for you.
Thank you.
So with the Jordan shoe, you talk about greatness. Like you have accomplished so much, especially at a young age, man, and been a lot of different places and helped other programs win. So when you talk about, the Jordan shoe, like, we see why you love the Jordan shoe because again, you do have greatness about yourself.
Right.
So the you know it, man. And then like when you talk about the Converse shoe, we both grew up on Converse. Converse to me was a rugged shoe, and it brought a lot of toughness. You know what I'm saying? People don't talk about the toughness back in the day because you didn't have all the real nice shoes and stuff. You know, Converse was, a basic shoe, but it was comfortable, but it was rugged because of the people that wore it back in the day.
Yeah.
And, like your toughness speaks for itself because you always bring in energy on the sideline and people see that. You don't back down for the officials. You don't back down from other coaches. You just want to win and you want to make sure you and your guys and your staff having success, man. So,
appreciate that.
That's my breakdown of who my guy, Coach Shane Beamer is, man.
Thank you.
Nah,
I
man.
like that.
I'm so glad, man. I got to spend a little bit of time with you, and we had a chance to catch back up. And more coaches need to take away from you because you don't have to talk to somebody in a while to keep a long-lasting relationship like we have. I always stayed away because I knew you were sitting there focusing on building this program to where you want, winning the SEC, having an opportunity for the playoffs and stuff like that. And you kind of pick and choose when you want to have conversations. So when I did come back, I was like, he was definitely somebody at the top of my list. I wanted to get you on where we can sit down and talk a little bit because people needed to,
appreciate
hear this about you, bro.
Yeah. Well, we need to do it again soon. And appreciate you having me. Appreciate all you're doing in this community, the state of South Carolina, what you've done for a long time. Keep doing your thing, man. You're making a huge impact on and off the court.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We'll catch up next time. Kicks and Convos, Coach Dion, I'm out. Peace.